Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Nick and Nolan Experience Sports Talk Show. We have a lot of exciting news to talk about today, starting with the fight this past Saturday, some other news in MMA, including the future of Jon Jones, Henry Cejudo, and Colby Covington, some new fight announcements, some new Conor McGregor developments, and we're getting closer to the major sports returning to play their seasons. So let's get started with Saturday's card from the Apex in Vegas. We had started with Chris Gutierrez and Vince Morales. Since Barboza, I haven't seen that much damage with leg kicks.
Chris Gutierrez, he just controlled that whole fight. I felt bad for Vince because he couldn't do anything. And you see the bump he had on his calf? It was crazy.
It came early. I was surprised, when he the whole sitting down thing, you never know, in between rounds, if you sit down, you never know if you're going to be able to get back up, because the blood flow and everything. But, that was just – and he was kind of, protesting the stoppage a little bit, but he knew that was – when you start falling down from leg kicks, it gets to a point where you're just putting yourself in danger, and it's just hurting you more and more.
There's a couple times when he was he would lean on the cage and kind of just pull up from –
Yeah.
I felt so bad for him because he didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just it gets to a point where it's too hard to. First of all, he should have been checking, but it gets to a point where you didn't check enough of them, and now it's just all of them are just there, and it keeps hurting worse and worse, and the blood is getting more and more, it's swelling, and he got that big welt on there. It's just nasty.
Well, he switched stances, and Gutierrez is like, all right, I'll just do it to your other leg too. So
I think he hit the other leg when he fell. I think it was just off balance. He tried to balance on the weak leg, and it just took him down because he had to try to support himself on that leg since he got the other one taken out. But yeah, that was. I mean, it was surprising I forget what they said that was. It was what time that was that. A fight has been stopped by leg kicks. I think Barboza has most of them.
Yeah, I believe he does too.
Casey Kenny, Louis Smolka, that's one of the fastest taps I've seen.
That guillotine was nasty, dude.
It was tight. He had it standing up, but as soon as it went to the ground, Smolka tapped. You didn't there was no hand fighting really, or I guess it was in when they were standing up, and it probably, if he had it right on his chin, kind of like a crossface type thing, I guess that could suck, depending where his hands really were and kind of the position of it. But yeah, he tapped pretty quick.
I gotta say, Chris Kenny had that nasty guillotine. And what was this, his fourth fight in UFC? He lost his last one.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
He's been coming up though, and Smolka's no joke. He's kind of another one that's kind of like a gatekeeper that they use in that division. But Casey's been coming up though.
Because I know he beat Ray Borg.
Yeah, they're kind of just testing him. I think it's kind of they did with the rising guys like Johnny Walker and all the guys that they think are gonna come up. They just throw them at somebody at the top of the division, and then it's too much at one point, and then you go to a lower one, like how they got Johnny to fight Corey Anderson. It was he wasn't ready for that yet. But even they gave him Krylov though, and he wasn't nearly ready for that one either though. So it's it shows a lot about, even though he trained for us, it's just confusing with guys like that. Till was another one. They gave him to Woodley a few fights into the UFC, and it was too early. We'll get to Woodley though. That's, oh my god. But Brandon Royval, Tim Elliott, that was a good fight. They got fight of the night.
Yeah, I honestly I like seeing Royval. He was very critique on himself at the when he was talking to DC. And he said, I don't want to work tomorrow. And I felt so bad because, that just kind of proves how underpaid fighters are.
Yeah.
he wants to do this full time, and he gained a fan because I respect him for saying what he said.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And getting your debut win against a guy like Tim Elliott, who's ranked 11th, and like today I think he's ranked today actually, Robo.
Yeah, especially a guy like Elliott, a guy that gave Demetrius Johnson a fight. Like he like he got him in trouble.
Well, Elliott was takedown after takedown in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's just a freak. I think it was between the second and third round. He was like, it's too quiet in here.
Yeah.
It's another thing. It's coming into like that. Tim's a maniac. So it comes into play. Like you don't have that kind of mental part of it, like where you feed off the crowd, like you want to keep going based on their reactions, and you want to like show them like, watch this double leg or like this power double that I'm going to shoot on this guy. And then it gives him more, kind of balance to what he's doing. Yeah, that sub was good.
Do you think that fight deserves to be fight of the night?
I thought Billy and Spike should have been fight of the night.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but I mean, technically wise, that was a good fight. Billy and Spike kind of just were winging at each other for 15 minutes.
I feel like the prelims had a little bit more action than the main card.
Oh, it was great. The first four fights got finished. And the fourth one, Jamal Hill and Clinton Fries de Abreu, that liver shot. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's not many people that have folded that fast from a liver. That knee was right on though. Like you could just right when it landed, I was like, oh, that was to his liver. And then he just like crumbled up, and I was like, yeah. Hill's a monster though. He's been coming out. He's what, 8-0 now, I think.
Yeah, he's 8-0. A lot of potential in the light heavyweight division.
Yeah, it's coming up, especially with the whole John Jones thing that's going on. We'll get to that too. But yeah, he's young and he's coming up. Abreu is nothing, like not top 15 or anything, but he's not a pushover.
Yeah, I think he's got wins over what's his name? Sam. Yeah, he won against Sam Alvey, who fought I think he fought the first card.
Yeah, he was the first fight he fought. Ryan Spann.
Yeah.
Daniel Rodriguez, Gabe Green. That was supposed to be Kevin Holland, which I was extremely let down that it wasn't.
But that fight wasn't bad either, man.
No, it was Daniel Rodriguez put it on him. I think it was the second most strikes ever thrown in like a 3-round fight like that. I think that was it was 170. I think it was like the second most strikes thrown in a welterweight fight.
And he won, I think, 30-27 from all three judges.
I think all three, yeah.
Gabe Green kept on pushing though, man.
Yeah, for such a short notice fight like that, like even Holland was going to be short notice, and then Gabe Green stepped in on 3 days, I think.
Well, I think a lot of these fights are going to be short notice fights.
Oh now. Yeah, they don't even have. I think the next fight after this weekend, I don't think they even have the full card for it.
Yeah, exactly. So
and they're kind of reaching for main events too, like Cynthia Calvillo and Jessica Ai. I was like, get that out of here, please. You have Aljamain Sterling and Corey Sandhagen as a mid main card this weekend. Make that a main event. I thought
it was the co.
Is it? I don't. It might be. I can look while we talk about the next one.
This card this upcoming week is so good, but we'll talk about that on Friday.
Yeah, we'll get to it on Friday. But Chukagian and Shevchenko, oh my God. It was 30-20, 30-25 on all cards.
Dominant performance by Chukagian.
Yeah, that was it looked like
I couldn't beat your sister, but I'm gonna take it out on you.
Antonina was another one though. She kind of looked like she was gonna be something. No, it's Asuncao and Garbrandt is the co-main for this.
Oh week. Yeah, that's right.
I swear I knew there was another fight in between that. But yeah, it's the Sterling and Corey are the third fight. Yeah, that could they're underhyping the hell out of Corey Sandhagen. Like he's so good.
Mm-hmm. But back to
they're not hyping him.
Antonina. Kaylin dominated that fight, and I was actually kind of scared in the third round because she started standing, and I remember DC and Bisping were saying, "Go back to what you were doing and just dominate." And then I think she finally took her down like with 3 minutes left, and because Antonina she got a few shots in there in the third round. It could.
I think it's just that confidence of over 10 minutes of dominating someone. You're like, oh, I could stand with this person, and
then that like you can dominate someone for 10 minutes and somehow they can just come back and it can knock you out, and you're like, crap, I should have taken them down.
It's another thing, like when guys get hurt on the feet, like it happened, like even when Gaslam fought Adesanya and he hurt him with that right hook and then he shot for a takedown. It's like, no, like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just keep going. Like Macy Barber did it in one of her first fights. She hurt the girl and then it looked like she was going to shoot. And she was like, no, this doesn't make any sense. And she just finished her. Like it's that. I think it was actually Hannah Cyphers. Or it might have been the other, I forget the girl's name, the blonde-haired girl. But yeah, like when you get hurt, like just keep it going. You give them time to recover when you shoot, and then you're in full guard and they get time to recover, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie Dern, wow.
Well, honestly, I said, like, Hannah Cyphers kind of just like gave her foot. You know what I mean? Like,
well, Dern is so good at jiu-jitsu though. You had to expect that it was going to happen, and Hannah's
yeah, definitely.
She's iffy. Like she has some fights where she's decent, but Dern's another level though. That's like, yeah, I think Dern lost her last fight, but she's on another level than Hannah. You got to give Dern somebody big.
Her that leg submission was the first women's leg submission. I think,
the first female one. Yeah. She had that deep though, right? When she locked it, I was telling my dad, I was like, "That's it, it's over right now."
Yeah.
But yeah, she had that. There's pictures of Hannah's face right when she locks it in. She just knows. You're like, "Oh yeah, I'm not getting out of this one."
Yeah, we're about to tap in about 5 seconds.
I think DC was saying it. He's like, "That's why I hate like training with jiu-jitsu guys, because they leg lock you and there's nothing you can do about it.
You're just kind of stuck there."
Yeah, another submission, Roosevelt Roberts, Brock Weaver. Oh, I wanted Brock to do good. Like, since the Contender Series, I've wanted him to do good. And it's just, I mean, Roosevelt Roberts is a monster, but.
Oh, weren't those the two that were going at it during weigh-ins or something like they were face-to-face? Or?
Yeah, Brock's a lot of show and a lot of talk. Like, he does the whole Indian thing, and it's cool, but, like, you got to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he was good on the Contender Series. I think something weird happened in his fight. Like, somebody got hurt or something like that, and the fight had to get stopped early. So they gave him, like, another chance, and it's just – you got to back it up. Like, you got to be – if you're going to show and talk that much, you got to be, like, Conor McGregor level. Like, you can do it, but you got to be able to – like sleep people right away and just show like, yeah, you don't have any business in here with me. And then another wild one, like we said, Billy Quarantillo and Spike Carlisle. Oof. Man. Those maniacs.
He started out, he ran towards Spike. He ran towards Billy with a freaking front kick. I was like, what the hell is going on? Did not expect that at all. And then Lily, at the end of the first round, he gets up, acting like the round's over, and Billy's like, I bet, tags him. I'm like, what is going on?
That happened. It happened in Glory, I think last year. I think it was a Cedric Doumbé fight. The guy got just blasted. Like, I think he threw a hook, and his ears must have been ringing, so he thought it was the bell, and he turned around, and Doumbé came and just knocked him clean out. But yeah, he didn't even get hit when that happened though. So I don't know if he heard something or if he thought like one of the guys talking was the bell. But like, yeah, you can't do that. And even the ref was like, "What are you doing? Like, protect yourself. Like, fight to the bell."
Do you, like I could have seen Spike win this fight. Like that's how close this fight was in my opinion.
You never know with these kind of fights, like where they just swing and just like go off. Like Billy had a lot of, and especially that at the end of that round where he dropped him, that counts as a knockdown. That counts as
Mm-hmm.
a significant strike. So like stuff like that, and then just if there's more significant strikes, they're in Vegas, so the judges are as good as they're going to be,
It's not
but
the
they're not
not
the
the
best.
judgment.
But I mean, it's as good as it's going to get.
Well, I feel like Spike won that first round. Second round could have gone either way, but third round Billy definitely
Yeah,
he controlled that. I think Spike just his gas tank just got worn off. You know what I mean? So,
it's a lot when you get guys throwing just for 15 minutes. It's just who gets tired first, or
well, there was a lot of transitions on the ground too. I mean, it was actually a really good fight.
yeah, it would have been interesting to see that go 25 minutes. That would never be a main event, but it would have been interesting to see them go two more or even one more. That's why I like that with other like Glory. If they're at a draw after 3 rounds, they go one more round. Like it's a cool little twist on it. Like so you don't just get a draw. It's just whoever wins this round wins the fight, and then you usually get guys just winging just to try to win it. Like so it's not like how they're doing like open scoring with I think they were doing it with Invicta. Like
Hmm.
that could cause guys to get hurt, but if you give them like if they know they're down 2-0, or if it's a 5-round fight and they're down 4-0, instead of just you guys draw, so whoever wins this next round wins the fight. It's totally different than risking your life for the next 5-10 minutes.
Hmm.
You just got to go out there and try to win that round. You can still win it on points instead of trying to knock the person out and risk yourself getting knocked out. Then Blagoy Ivanov finally got him out of there. He's a good fighter, but like I'm tired of it. Like
That fight was probably the most boring fight of this whole card, man.
yeah, I'm sick of like he's good, and he's like the whole stabbing thing was I don't know how anyone does that, but it's just it's time. Every time he fights, like he doesn't go down. His chin is insane, but
Yeah, it is.
like he doesn't go down, and it's none of his fights are all that exciting. Like he kind of just moved up the ranks through decisions.
Hmm.
So it's like the Sakai guy, he's nothing too big either. Like they'll give
But
him.
did you see him grab the fence?
That was
DC was like
horrible. That was probably the worst one I've ever seen.
DC was like he should probably lose a point there, and this should
Yeah,
have been like
that's easily a lost point, and you start on the ground. Like I forget who was reffing that fight, but I've seen Herb Dean take points away from that easily, and then you put him in whatever position they were going to, whether it was going to be full guard, half guard, whatever.
I'm trying to remember the ref because I think it's the what ref? It's the ref that did the Anthony Smith fight in Glover. Can't think of his name.
Was it? It was Herzog. Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
just
can't believe you didn't see that, dude. I was like, yo, he just grabbed full like the fence. That fence could have fell off, man. Like,
that changes kind of the momentum. Like, but yeah, I've seen Herb Dean do it, and I think I saw Big John do it before. Fence grab is automatically 1 point, and you start on the ground if it was going there.
that was bad, man.
Yeah, it was. It's just it gets touchy. Like, but I'm glad Blagoy got beat finally, and now they can move on instead of seeing another big heavyweight not be able to knock him out. Like Derek Lewis fought him. I was like, it's just.
No, I honestly think I don't know. When he fought Derek Lewis, I didn't think Lewis won that fight, and then they gave it to him.
It's another one though where it's like you don't know because he doesn't go out, he doesn't throw all that much. So it's like you gotta beat people to get to the top. It's like Romero saying he beat Adesanya. It's like, dude, you threw like 5 strikes the whole fight.
Well, Adesanya through probably what 10, like.
Yeah, it was like.
So I mean
But
that fight was
still, though, but he's the champ,
God.
though. You gotta beat the champ if you
Yeah.
if you want to get to that. You can't just try to stand there the whole fight and stand still and then blame Adesanya for not throwing anything.
God, you had Joanna versus Woodley, and I mean that was probably one of the best fights I've ever seen, men or women.
Yeah,
And you had that fight right after. And you're just
I was
like,
thinking so much like it was gonna be like that night when we had Gaslam and Adesanya and then Poirier and Holloway right away.
yes.
Like right after, I was like, dude, like we just saw that fight and we still get Romero Adesanya. And then we get the fight of the year, probably best fight ever in female history. And then you get maybe 20-something strikes thrown in the Adesanya fight.
Oh, man. To the main event, Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Burns.
Tyron needs to fight someone lower or hang it up. I'm sick of it. He looked good against Darren Till, and that was it.
It just looks like he's not focused, man.
He said he was there. He said he's weird. Well, he said I'm in a weird piece, like for a guy that just got his ass beat or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you've gotten destroyed every single round. The past 10 rounds, he's lost. They didn't give him a round, did they?
No, they didn't.
No, you've gotten destroyed the past 10 rounds of your fights.
Because he got tagged in the first round, and
Yeah.
I mean they could have ended it there. But honestly, if I was Woodley, I wish they would have ended it there because that whole fight made him look bad, man. Like it made him look like, oh well, Woodley's not the same guy he was 3 years ago.
No.
That fight made him look. I don't even think he should be because I think he's number 4 now on the ranking.
He dropped 3 spots, yeah. And he's above Leon Edwards. I really don't understand that.
Yeah, who's beat what 8 welterweights or something like that. He's on it.
Yeah. Leon posted about it too. He's like, how is a guy that's lost 2 fights in a row above me when I'm on like an 8-fight winning streak?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and if I was Woodley, I would wish they would have ended that in the first round because then it doesn't look like he got outplayed. You know what I mean? He got tagged and he's like, oh, I got tagged. You know what I mean? But now
it just confirms
that fight made him bad, man.
It just confirms the whole Usman thing. Like, oh, I wasn't there. There's something wrong. It just confirms it. He's not the same anymore. I think you say, Jeff Neal, what's up? Here's Woodley. And just give Jeff Neal a big, just freaking stepping stone into the top 5. And then he can get in there and call out Colby, call out Leon, Masvidal, stuff like that. I want to see Jeff Neal, Robbie Lawler, but I think if you really want Jeff Neal to blow up, I think you say, Woodley, what's up?
Do you think they would give him to Leon?
I don't see why you'd give Leon Tyron right now. I think Leon gets somebody in the top 5. If not, like they might give him something weird, like let him fight like Wonder Boy or something. But I think Leon fights. DC and Ariel were saying like DC thinks Gilbert should get the next shot. You could do Leon Gilbert too. That wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah. Well, we don't know how long Usman's going to be out, and you got to think Usman and Gilbert they train together.
Gilbert wants it though. He's like, yeah, it's going to be weird, but I want it.
Like, I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be one of those things like, oh, we won't fight. But
I like what DC said when he said, yeah, Woodley didn't look good, but like that just kind of shows how good Gilbert Burns is, man.
Oh my God,
he's been on the come up, man. I think he was at 155, and then he moved up to welterweight, and he's been dominant, man.
Yeah, I forget how. I think that's 4 or 5 that he's won at welterweight now.
I think it's his 5th.
Yeah, it's insane. I love it when guys do that. When guys struggle at one weight division, then they go up, and it's just like, oh my God, like you're an entirely different fighter.
I don't think he struggled at 55, did he?
He lost a few, but he wasn't nearly as dominant as he is now. Like when he fought, it was like, yeah, it's like he was kind of like a decent prelim like kind of guy, but now it's like
Could have been a weight
he'll
cut
probably
too.
it changes a bunch of guys. When you got like it affects your chin, it affects your like ability to do everything. He might not even cut weight. He might walk into fight week at 180. You know.
And he said he wants to fight in July, man.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten hurt in his
Exactly.
past few fights. He didn't have a scratch on him after the Woodley fight. I mean, I'll
And he
admit
was all
Woodley
the way
was
around.
more there. Woodley was definitely more there than he was in the Usman fight. He didn't do anything in the Usman fight. But
Man, that welterweight division looks
oh
it's so good, man. It's
oh
so good.
I was looking at the rankings this morning. It's just from top to bottom. I think even 15. I'll look as we're talking. I think even like the number 15 guy is like good. Um, so, oh well, 15 is Connor
Yeah, so
at 170, and then you got Pettis at 14, Luke at 13, and then Robbie, Neal, Diaz, RDA, Chiesa, Maya, Thompson, Edwards, Woodley, Masvidal, Covington, Burns. Um, yeah, but I don't. That Diaz thing is interesting. How he's at 10,
yeah, I don't get that either.
and then how you put Connor at 15 just because he beat Cowboy. Like, I don't know. But
You mean
anyway,
hey, you know those cowboy commercials with the I think it's what PW or something like that?
the P3.
Yeah, P3, yeah. All right. So me my dad like hates those commercials because it's literally every commercial goes to that. So we literally counted how many times that commercial played. That and the Bruce Buffer the Bruce Buffer story of like how
Oh yeah,
he,
the
yeah, we literally I think
or
we
whatever.
counted like 12 to 15 like times that both those commercials came on.
Well, yeah, they
Whereas,
run one commercial like pretty much. Like there was one a couple weeks ago where they kept running that where they were having like celebrities on Zoom.
oh yeah.
I was getting so sick of that. Like where Pitbull comes on like 12 times. It's like, oh, stop it.
we counted that. It was just crazy.
But yeah, and then you got Connor at 4 at lightweight, and he's 15 at welterweight. And they're talking about giving him a title shot at welterweight. It's like, no. Look,
There's
look who's in welterweight.
if you beat someone in the top 5, maybe it's a different story.
Yeah, like you, like Connor Masvidal, Connor Leon, like anyone, Connor Thompson. Do you realize the striking war that we would see in Conor McGregor versus Stephen
Exactly.
Thompson? Oh my God. Or
Speaking
Connor
of Connor,
Diaz.
speaking of Connor, what do you think about that rumor with Anderson Silva?
It's not going to happen. It's stupid.
Do you know the size difference between the two? Like, it's
Yeah.
insane.
Connor's 5'9", and let me look up what Silva is.
At least 6'3", 6'1".
Yeah, I was gonna say 6'3". He's 6'2".
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
My catch weight at 176. What?
That was weird. He's still like 176.39 or something. It's like, what? But anyway, but yeah, that's not going to happen though. It would be a waste of time. Kind of like you could hype up Connor Cowboy because Cowboy's a big name and he was at the top. But Connor Silva, there's no point.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a big payday for both fighters. That's all I see it as.
Yeah, but you can't market it as anything though, especially at a like Silva's not going to make 170, and Connor at 185. I think he would just be fat.
He probably walks around 185, 200.
I don't think 200. I think I could see maybe 185 at his biggest, but I don't really think he cuts weight to make 170. I think he probably walks around into like 175, 180 when he's fighting at 170. If he's fighting at 55, he probably walks around at 170.
So, what's your opinion?
Himself to weigh in.
How do you feel about Cejudo retiring and then flyweight division and the bantamweight divisions?
I didn't believe it at first, but then they actually took him out of the rankings. I was looking at the pound-for-pound rankings this morning, and he's completely gone. And mostly everyone moved up a spot. Like Adesanya's number 4 now. But yeah, you got Figueiredo and Benavidez at flyweight.
Yeah.
And you got Brandon Moreno, who's always around. He's probably going to be next. You got, Formiga, Kai Kara France. Like, the division's not great, but there's contenders. I don't know if it lasts too long. Like, if there's not a big name that comes, like Benavidez can't sell, neither can Figueiredo. So it's just going to be another boring thing. Like when you see Demetrius Johnson fights, like, yeah, no one really cares. Like, I went to a fight in Chicago with him and John Dodson. It was like, can we just like get this over with? Like
Yeah,
he is one of the best ever, but
bantamweight, yeah.
Bantamweight is stacked.
Jan and Aldo was the fight I heard that they want to do. But I mean, like, there's other guys besides Aldo.
Well, yeah, they got Pedro Munoz is fighting Frankie Edgar, so that's something.
I kind of feel bad for Marlon Moraes because he beat freaking Aldo, and he's just like,
He just called out. I don't think he really beat Aldo though. But,
I don't either, but you know what I mean. But like, technically, he does have a W against him, so
he called out Cruz though.
Yeah, I did see that last night. I wouldn't be mad about it.
No, I would watch it. But, like, that Marlon Vera is number 15. Like, that's how good the division is.
But I honestly feel like the winner between Sandhagen and Aljamain Sterling should fight Jan, in my opinion.
Absolutely. The whole Aldo at 35 thing, I never really got it. Like, yeah, he looked good, but title shot? No. Like, I think he should have to win at least one or two more before it's like, yeah, maybe.
I feel bad for the UFC right now, man, because basically other champions are like.
Yeah, I've been seeing like all the news about it.
Can't really leave the country. Like Izzy can't really leave the country, can he?
No, there's weird airport. Like Leon said, the airports are open there. I don't know how everything's going with all the airports in all the other countries, but like Ben Askren and somebody else was talking about it. Like he went through the whole division. Like Whaley can't leave.
Exactly.
Shevchenko's hurt.
If Izzy can't leave, then
Volkanovski
can't leave, can he?
No, it's the same thing as Izzy.
Yep, exactly.
Amanda's fighting, and then you got the 25 and 35 are vacant. You got Figueiredo and Benavidez fighting. Figueiredo probably can't leave. Then you Stipe's
focusing on the other job.
205. You got the whole John Jones fiasco, and then you got to figure out Izzy. Yeah, and 70. You got Usman, just complications with who he's fighting, and
do you think he's hurt, or do you think it's just
his hand has been hurt for a long time? I think he's better. Masvidal came out and said that he's asking for too much money because he was on. They had him on.
Masvidal himself asking, or
no? Masvidal said Usman is asking for too much money. Because I saw interviews with Usman, and Usman was saying like I forget what it was. He was saying like, oh, he doesn't want it here, like he's fighting or he's calling for like McGregor, and he's like, oh, let's do this Diaz rematch. It's like, yeah, because you don't want to get your ass kicked. But then Masvidal comes in like, dude, I've signed it already. Like he's asking for too much money. So it's just, I don't know, it's weird. But then you got Khabib in Russia. Volkanovski's he might be able to go. He said he wants to go. What is September, right? So yeah, and then it'll be Khabib and Justin in September, hopefully.
Hopefully, man.
But anyway, back to that John Jones thing. Oh, did you see that video of him in Albuquerque though?
Yeah, when he took the spray.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
I was reading some comments, and I saw people say once people see like the cauliflower in the ears and stuff, they're like, yeah, we can't mess with this guy.
Not even that. It was dark out, and he had a hat on. He's 6'4", probably 220 something pounds, and he has an 84-inch reach. When he walks up, and he's solid, like solid muscle. When he walks up to you, you're not standing up to him.
Well, the thing is, like, I saw on Twitter, like, I'm trying to remember what the account was, but they said, like, they haven't, like, seen Jones or anything, and that he's, like, he has a warrant for his arrest or something like that. And then this morning I woke up, and it's, like, I saw Jones on Twitter saying, like, helping the police and stuff like that. So I was like, what the hell is going on?
I never saw the warrant thing. He was out in Albuquerque yesterday helping like businesses clean up and everything.
I did see that too. So that's exactly when I saw the thing about Jones has a warrant for his arrest. I didn't know, maybe it was just someone just trying to start something, or
yeah, it's people just trying to start stuff and trying to make a name for themselves, I guess. But I don't know. He said Jan Blachowicz versus Dominic Reyes for the 205 title. Nobody wants to see that. Like, yeah, they can fight, but for the title though, like knowing that Jones is out there still, and then Bader came out and he's still like, "Oh, I want a rematch." It's like, no, you don't. You don't
Bader.
want that. You'll lose both. Like, God forbid John goes to Bellator. John will be the best thing that ever happened to Bellator. If I don't, it's not going to happen. Jones will take both of Bader's belts within 6 months. No problem.
Like, do you think he leaves the UFC, or do you think they find something out? Do you think they figure something?
They'll figure something out. The Ngannou fight, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. But you know, if DC, if they strip Stipe, and then they say, "Hey, John, here's DC. Like, you know, the pay-per-view will be big. We'll give you money." Like, it's going to be big. Or if Santos comes back, like,
I feel bad because honestly, those two divisions right now are probably besides Jones and light heavyweight, there's really no one else who sells the pay-per-view at light heavyweight besides maybe Jones. Heavyweight's basically the same thing. Stipe, he hasn't fought since DC, last year?
Well, I would buy the hell out of a pay-per-view for any Francis Ngannou fight.
Well, you got limited people in the heavyweight and the light heavyweight division who can sell a pay-per-view out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Francis, you got Blades. He's fighting Volkov soon. But yeah, nobody, like, if Stipe fights, Stipe and DC are the big ones, and then if they give Francis a big fight, then yeah, like Jones Francis would be huge. But I think they're kind of leaning more towards let's wait it out and do Jones versus Stipe for the heavyweight title and just market the hell out of that. And in the meantime, we'll do Jones versus Blachowicz or Jones Santos, Jones Reyes, something like that.
And 2021, they plan on doing the Izzy versus Jones. You think that's still gonna happen?
Yeah, I think it happens. Like I said, I think it was the last episode or the one before. If they did, I don't know if it'll happen that long or if it'll wait that long, but July, I think it's probably be in July next year. First show with fans back, Raider Stadium, Jones Adesanya, McGregor Khabib, boom, biggest pay-per-view ever. Like,
well, yeah, I think it Khabib beats Gaethje, man.
Yeah, which I hope he does, or even Conor Gaethje. That would be huge too. You could even you could do Conor Khabib just 5 rounds, and it would be huge. Make it, even if Gaethje wins, make it for the interim title, and then, you know, because Gaethje said he would fight Conor too. He just wants to shut him up. I still haven't watched it. He was on Rogan with Trevor Whitman the other day. I wanted to watch it. I still haven't.
Well, I saw something that he said if he beats Khabib and if he ever gets to fight McGregor and beats him, that, I mean, he'd walk away, and I mean, he's like, who else could say, hey, I beat Khabib and McGregor?
Yeah, there's not much out. I mean, if you want to beat legends, I would say, Diaz, I guess, would be cool at 55. But I don't think Diaz would fight at 55 anymore, unless it was Conor or Khabib. But they won't give him Khabib. Then you had GSP saying too, like, yeah, never say never. It's like, dude, stop it. Just come back already. Like, please. Fight someone. Can you imagine GSP versus Usman? Oh my God.
So you don't think Jones is going to leave the UFC though?
No, I think he's kind of pulling a Cejudo, give me more money type thing. But
do you think he deserves more money?
I don't know exactly how much he's making. I saw one of his purses when I think he fought Reyes, and he made quite a lot. But you don't see the other endorsements either, though. He makes like Dana was saying, he could retire right now and be fine for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of endorsements, the Reebok endorsements coming to an end next year.
That's going to be interesting. I want the regular fight shorts back.
Are you talking about like when the fighters get their own endorsements?
Yeah, like when they put their sponsors on there. Or even if you get Nike saying, "What's up?" Like, we'll give you guys some cool ones, and you can put your sponsors on there. Some Nike UFC like kits.
Exactly. I feel like fighters should get their own their sponsors again, man.
That was a huge thing. That's why Bellator kind of blew up. Like, that's why they started getting a lot of fighters, because UFC took all those endorsements away. Like, you can still have the ones that UFC has, like Monster, stuff like that, but the guys, like, they had like those smaller ones, like Muscle Farm and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where it took away money, and they can promote it on social media, but they're not wearing it. Like, you don't see guys with the big Muscle Farm or Venom, or like, because that was huge, like with like, remember when Bisping had the big Venom logo on his shorts and stuff like that, like, or like Tito with the whole like bad boy stuff. Like, it's huge. And like all the tap out uniforms, or like the tap out sponsors that were big and everything.
God, that was my childhood.
Yeah, it's just, there's a lot that went with that, like Affliction and all that. It looks weird when you go to a fight and you see, when you go to a UFC fight and you see like a 45-year-old dude wearing an Affliction shirt, but.
Yes, or wearing a tap out shirt or something like that.
It's worse when you see guys, like older guys, like with their wives or their girlfriends or something, and they got like a Conor McGregor like Reebok fight kit on. It's like, stop it. Like, it's just.
Well, I remember going, because I never gone to any UFC events, but I remember going to like some amateur fights and stuff like that, and see Affliction stuff. And I mean, my mom used to fight Amy, so.
Yeah, it's kind of put out that vibe that like, oh, I'm down to fight anyone, and then you see it in the parking lot and people just start swinging like they have no clue how to actually fight.
Well, when my mom fought, she was sponsored by it was called Body Shop, and I had like a few shirts and hats from them and stuff like that. So
yeah,
and I mean, she was just an amateur.
I mean, it's different if it if it looks good. Like, I've had tap out shirts and I have UFC shirts and stuff, but like, it's different when you're wearing a fight kit and you like, it just like, you can tell like, oh, that dude's on steroids and he's like trying to show off. Yeah, like, it's just dumb. Like, back when GSP was a big thing, like the guys would come with the big thing on their head, like how he used to wear. It's like, what's dumb? Like, you're not.
Well, I mean, because I used to taekwondo, and we used to do that all the time, actually.
Yeah, but it's with the older guys. Like, when you see guys that like one kick to their leg and they're like, they can't walk, or they're gonna throw their back out if they swing too hard at you. And it's like, dude, you're not, like, if you fight a guy that's in his 20s, you're going to sleep. Like,
all right, so transitioning from MMA to other sports, what's your take on MLB with the potential maybe return June 30th?
Yeah, June. I've seen June 30th, like July 1st. They want to do, it was like 114 or 118 game season, something like that.
Yeah, I heard like 50, 60 games like done, and let's just start. I heard it's like owners would pay them or something. It's like an owner proposal or something like that. I don't remember.
Like the PA, I think, did it. But yeah, and then the players can like opt out. There's a bunch of stuff to it that they got to really get finalized, but it would be exciting.
Players, they want their money, man.
Yeah, like especially the big ones that make a lot. But yeah, baseball, it's June 30th possibly. I think NHL and the NBA want to come back in like July.
NBA I heard was the end of July, but I was just like, man, that if you think about NBA returns end of July, so it gives maybe 2 weeks of prep of like regular season games. That's one thing I heard is regular season game, like 2 weeks of regular season games, get everyone back in and go into the playoffs. So that's going to take like if you regular time like right now would be the time where we would be in the NBA finals right now if anything like nothing happened. You know, world was just saying no COVID-19. We I think we'd get into the start of NBA finals or end of like Western Conference or the conference finals. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's gonna take like a month, maybe 2 months, man.
yeah, I like the NHL's thing better. Just expanded playoffs and just do it like that. Like get it over with.
They did what 24 teams.
Yeah, something like that. And of all teams, the Blackhawks were going to be in it. It was like, I mean, yeah, but it's kind of just get it over with. We don't like, yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be good to see sports on, but there's those lower seed teams. They're not gonna. I'd be shocked if it is 24, like if the 24th seed won or even made it to the semifinal.
Well, that's the thing. It's maybe the who knows, maybe those lower seeded teams have been working just working their tails off this whole after this whole COVID-19 thing, and maybe they come up and like that's the one thing I'm like I can't wait to see because in the NBA finals like who knows, maybe we'll see that lower seeded team make it to the finals because their players have been actually working in this. I won't call it an off season because like it's basically it's what they've been doing. It's crazy.
Yeah, they've been like
And
opening up their like I think a couple teams opened up their training facilities. I think the NFL's doing the same thing. They're opening it up for like players if they want to.
but I also heard they want to do a 1-16 thing for the NBA playoffs. So it could be like we can have like 12 teams in the West and 4 teams in the East. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, like I like it, but then like I see other side of things too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting the next month or two how everything's going to go because
And other sports that are going on right now, NASCAR they've been. I think their scheduling for races and stuff has been pretty solid. They've been doing their like Cup Series on Sundays and Wednesdays, and then do like the Xfinity Series with like on Mondays, and then trucks on Tuesdays. And I mean, scheduling wise for NASCAR, I think that's been pretty solid. They've been no problems. I've heard nothing. Other soccer leagues are about to come out. I know. I think Serie A, which is the Italian league's been. I think June 21st is what they're going after. EPL, English Premier League, June 17th, and then La Liga the 12th. So other sports are starting to come out now. A lot of tests have been done for all of those soccer teams, and I know in the EPL at least they did like 1,130 tests, and not one of them tested positive. So that's good.
Yeah, a lot of sports are doing all the tests. Like even UFC, they said like even the first show they did like over 1,000 tests and 3 of them came back positive, and it was all Jacare's team. Nobody else has done it, and they've been doing it. I've been like Dana posts every time he gets tested, and so they're testing all the guys. I think all the fighters were getting there like yesterday. Like I think O'Malley got there yesterday. I think Amanda got there. But yeah, they're as long as they're doing the testing and making sure you're staying away from like big crowds of people, especially with everything going on now. Like I didn't like how like Izzy was out there and stuff like that. It's like, like I know, but still though, like he was talking to I think he was talking to Ariel, and he was saying like, do you have a fight? And he's like, maybe. I can't really say, but.
Well, yeah. I've
It's
seen
just,
that too.
I just wanted to get back to normal. It sucks without, like you said, like with all the champions being locked up, like other than Amanda and, she's fighting. But now we because of this, we have to get freaking Jessica I and Cynthia Calvillo as main event.
Well, I heard Valentina's hurt. I think they said that when Antonina was fighting. So
She's been hurt for a while. She was supposed to fight Joanne Calderwood a few months ago. Or no, maybe it was no. They announced it. I think it was supposed to be like this month or last month that they were supposed to fight, but she got hurt. But yeah, I don't see anyone else other than Joanne that deserves it right now. Caitlyn got destroyed. Liz is in Bellator now. Everyone that like Jessica, I think Jessica I is still number one. Like why? It's just she's good, but that head kick changed her life. So like,
do you think college football is gonna maybe come around, or?
I hope so, especially for us. Like going back, like I've signed up for 320.
Oh yeah, so you did 320. Okay.
The production thing, like even if there's no crowd, like we would still have to be there.
Yeah.
So like I hope it does, like so we can get like sports broadcasting people can get that experience.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hope so. I want to see like there's been a bunch of schools announcing like Michigan said they won't play unless like their students go back to school. I think a lot of schools are doing the same thing.
Yeah, I hope college football comes in the fall. I mean, I think NFL's gonna play. I think they said yeah we're sticking to the schedule. And I mean I haven't read any. I mean obviously we still got 2-3 months away till that happens. So I mean things can change, things can get worse, things can get better. Maybe we'll see fans in the stands, or maybe we won't have a season at all because I have no clue what's gonna happen. NBA, they want to do that, and they want to do it at Disney, dude. What do you think about that?
It could be interesting. I mean, it's something. Like if they can make it work, I think Disney was opening like July.
Yeah. So I mean, well, Florida's been doing everything pretty much. It feels like.
Yeah, their governor's kind of just going all out, sending it.
I would not be shocked to see baseball there. To be honest with you, if they decide, let's have couple teams go to Vegas and a couple teams go to Florida, and we'll just have baseball there. And
yeah, they wanted to do it in Arizona at the start, but
yeah, that too. I read that. So I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna have any sports in the Chicago area anytime soon with Illinois' governor. You know what I mean? So
the governor, the Lori Lightfoot too. It's just I don't know. It's gonna be a while, but I'm really hoping we get like. And everyone knows UFC is like my whole deal, but like I would try taking away college football from like people in the South and see what happens. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Take away Texas football and see how that works out. Like,
shoot, even Alabama, dude.
Yeah,
LSU, all those schools. That's where they make their money, dude.
Even high school football.
High school football, especially in Texas and Florida, and like most of those top 100 recruits you see are, I guarantee you 3/4 of those are from either Florida or Texas, or so like the southern states, because they love their football down there, man.
Yeah, so we just have to see the next couple months to see how everything goes. Hopefully the UFC stays going as they've been. They're going to be at the Apex for a while, and I think all the the wrestling stuff, they're starting to. Did you see that? Like where they put they were putting other wrestlers in the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AEW's been doing that for a while now, and WWE decided, hey, they're doing it, let's do it. I mean, it's been working. Gives crowd noise, and I've been watching some soccer matches in Germany. They've been generating crowd noise into the games too, and I mean it works. I mean it's weird because there's no one there and you just hear cheering, but it's weird, but it still works. I like it. The wrestlers that are getting paid pretty much to be fans. So, I mean, that's pretty weird. Hey, what do you do? I'm a part-time wrestler, but I also go to the WWE events, get paid to cheer. So, you know what I mean? Like, so, and WWE and AEW have been working. I mean, they've been doing good. UFC's been doing good. So a lot of combat sports that you would think, man, why are they doing combat sports with all this COVID-19 going on? It's been working. They get tested. I've seen a couple wrestlers say, hey, I'm not gonna fight because of like my personal health and my family's health, and I've seen them like the upper businessmen say, all right, that's fine. Like, take all the time you need. I mean, they understand it's not just like wrestlers have their own personal lives. You know what I mean? They want to take care of their family. And UFC, I mean, Khabib, his dad's fighting for his life right now. I haven't read anything about it, but Dana said, all right, take your time. Hopefully everything's good, and you know what I mean? Fighters have their own personal lives. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's just the last I saw about Khabib's dad is like he's back in the coma and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So all we can do is just hope for the best for him and see, you know, just how everything goes in the next couple months, and hopefully we can get back to as normal as we can soon. And hopefully we get some more sports back. We got another stacked card this Saturday that didn't look good from the beginning. I think I said in the last one, like, I probably won't buy it, but now I probably will because the whole main card is stacked.
Yeah, exactly.
O'Malley, Eddie Wineland in the first fight of the main card. Oh my God. But yeah, we'll get to that Friday. Is there anything else you wanted to get to?
No, man. We'll get to more stuff on Friday. Hopefully, more stuff comes out, but like beforehand. Maybe we'll see something. Baseball season's possibly a go, or still a standstill. Maybe with basketball, we don't know. Just living day by day, you know.
But yeah, hopefully by Friday we get some more. We got fight announcements: Andrade Namajunas, Calvillo, Munoz Edgar, Blades Volkov, Covington out of ATT. So hopefully
we'll definitely get some of those on Friday.
Yep, and then we'll give our predictions for the fights on Saturday. So that just about wraps things up for us here today. Be sure to follow us on social media at NN Experience for the latest updates in the world of sports and news about our next show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the Nick and Owen Experience.